Today what we're going to talk about is lesson 3-7, solving AX plus B is less than C. And what they're going to do for us today is they're going to give us some word problems, and we need to put it into this form so then we can solve for it. Okay? So, inequalities of the form AX plus B is less than C can be solved in 2 steps, just like solving an AX plus B equals C problem. Okay, we added or subtracted B, we divided by A, got our answer. Same process when you solve a problem of inequalities just like this. Remember, use the inequality is the same thing as using the equal sign. So the addition property of inequality says if you add something to one side, you have to add it to the other side. Okay, same process. Example 1 says, a crate weighs 7 kilograms when empty. An orange weighs about 0.3 kilograms. For shipping, the crate and the oranges must weigh at least 70 kilograms. How many oranges should be put in the crate? Now, what you may want to do is you may want to read that over again. Okay? Sometimes it helps you if you read it twice, read it 3 times. Just don't go skimming through it, okay? It says a crate weighs 7 kilograms when empty, and an orange weighs 0.3 kilograms. For shipping, the crate and oranges must weigh at least 70 kilograms. So at least means 70 or more. I just want to point that out. 70 or more. Okay, we can't have it any less. So what we need to think about is an equation that takes the crate when empty plus oranges has to be greater than or equal to 70 because we want it equal to 70 or more. Okay? So, how much does the crate weigh? Well, the crate weighs 7 kilograms. Okay? How much does the orange weigh? An orange weighs 0.3 kilograms. So, plus 0.3. Well, do we know how many oranges we're going to put in there? No. That's what we're trying to find, how many oranges. So I'm going to say 0.3 times O, because if it's 1 orange that goes in there, then it only weighs 0.3 plus the 7. If there's 2 oranges, 0.6 plus the 7. Has to be greater than or equal to 70. So I'm happy with this. I got my equation. It looks exactly like what we talked about, okay? Except my O is my X, okay? Maybe I shouldn't put that O in there because it almost looks like 30. So I'll change it and make it my X. I was just going to get kind of creative, but kind of burnt me. So my X is on the left-hand side, so I got to move everything from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, except for my X. So the inverse of adding 7, notice the sign, there is no sign, so that's a plus, is subtracting 7. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Leaves me with 0.3x is greater than or equal to 70 minus 7 is 63. The inverse of multiplying by 0.3 is dividing by 0.3. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So x is greater than or equal to, and notice I didn't flip my inequality sign because all I've done is divided by a positive number. 63 divided by 0.3 is 210 oranges. You can label them oranges. So in that crate, there's at least going to be 210 or more oranges. Okay? There's going to be 210 or more oranges. Example 2. Suppose that during a particularly dry summer, the level of water in a local reservoir decreased by 1.5 feet each week. So whatever we started with, we know that it decreased by 1.5 feet each week. That's important information. Mr. Johnson likes to circle those things. At the start of the summer, the water level is 60 feet. That's what we started at. Another important piece of the puzzle. When the water level is 30 feet or less, a water emergency is put into effect. 30 feet or less. Okay? That includes 29, that includes 28, etc., etc. That includes 29 and 10 inches. Okay? With various water conservation measures enacted, when will a water emergency be into effect? Okay, we want to know when that water emergency is going to come. So, what did we start with? Well, we started with 60 feet of water. So, what I started with, and then we are losing 1.5 feet of water each week. So, we're losing 1.5 each week. And I'll just use W. Okay? Now, the water emergency is going to go off when this equation, notice how I'm doing this, when this equation is less than or equal to, because we started at 60 and then we're losing 1.5 feet. We know it's going down, it's just a matter of when. The water emergency is going to be put into effect when this equation is less than or equal to 30 feet. Okay? The buzzer's going to go off. It's going to irritate people, everything else. So there's my equation. Done this before. The inverse of adding 60, subtracting 60. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Now, this is where you have to watch your signs. This is where people get in trouble with, because they get all nervous because 30 minus 60 is a negative 30. That's okay. And I'm going to show you in a little bit why that's okay. Because when you divide by a negative number, now this is going to become positive. So our weeks are going to become positive. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that it makes sense in your problem. Okay? If you get out a negative number and you're in a real world problem, it's probably not correct. Okay? You can't have negative weeks. So the inverse of subtracting 1.5W is dividing a negative 1.5W. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. And this is where you need to watch your signs, because since I divided by a negative 1.5, this inequality now turns to greater than or equal to. So W is greater than or equal to a negative 30 divided by a negative 1.5 is equal to 20. So, at 20 weeks and more, that water emergency light's going to come on, or the sound's going to be made to tell people that they are in an emergency. They're losing too much water. So when will the water emergency be in effect? In about 20 weeks. That is all I have for you today. Please pay attention as you are making your equations. Okay? I hope this was beneficial to you.